Spitfire was built in many variants using several wing configurations and was produced in greater numbers than any other British aircraft. It was also the only British fighter to be in continuous production right throughout the war. Designed as a short-range, high-performance interceptor aircraft by the famous R.J. Mitchell, he pushed the Spitfire's distinctive elliptical wing, originally designed together with Mr. Shenstone to have the thinnest possible cross-section, helping give the aircraft a higher top speed than several contemporary fighters, including the Hawker Hurricane. Of course, that thin cross-section still had to enclose the all-important early Browning machine guns and the retractable undercarriage. But Mitchell continued to refine the design until his death in 1937, very sadly, whereupon his colleague Joe Smith took over as the chief designer, overseeing the development of the Spitfire through its multitude of different variants. Flown today by Bill Dean, a test pilot with Rolls-Royce. This marvellous machine was built in Castle Bromwich by Vickers Armstrong and delivered to the Royal Air Force in October 1944 as an HF Mark 9, a high-altitude fighter. It was allocated to an anti-aircraft cooperation squadron. War, it was sold to the South African Air Force. Last flown there by Ron Beamish of number 2 Squadron. Lovely topside pass there, Bill, keeping his beady eye on you as well. He can see you very, very clearly. Like so many of these warbirds though, they go through lots of different owners. They sometimes languish in hangars on static displays for many, many years, until it finally made it back to Britain in 1986, purchased by the well-known Charles Church. Now that was eventually passed on through several more owners until 2001. You may have caught the newsreel on the beat last night, featuring Martin Phillips, who bought the aircraft and began in earnest to restore this to full airworthy condition, taking nearly 13 years, having been challenged by his mates on his 40th birthday to produce a Spitfire from the single rivet which they presented to him. And it's just an amazing and excellent story in so many different respects. Sourcing parts for these aircraft. You may have heard that we've now got a huge number of Spitfires back in the air, particularly in this country, but around the world as well. And it's just a sheer pleasure and delight. You can, of course, enjoy flying in these yourselves, and this aircraft coming from the Bowlby Academy just down the coast at Goodwood. Therein lies yet another story, because this aircraft, known as the City of Exeter, originally presented to the war effort and to the Royal Air Force at RAF West Hampnett almost 75 years ago, and is now operating at the same airbase, now known as Goodwood Aerodrome. Many towns and cities around the UK, of course, contributed, and so many of the Spitfire supplied during the course of the war had well-known names on them. Tremendous collective effort right across the country to keep the supply line and production lines going. So some of the parts of this aircraft have a very unusual story. One of the wings, for example, was salvaged from a hedge outside a pub near Exeter. Together with a fully rebuilt Merlin engine, of course authorised back to the highest possible standards, took to the air again in December 2012. And it was the last aircraft to be assembled at the Filton Aerodrome, which was, of course, the home of Concorde before it closed down for redevelopment. performing such wonderful wingovers as you see now. These pilots treat all these aircraft fairly gingerly. They're now worth, of course, an awful lot of money. And I just caught him declaring now that this is his last pass, so do give him a huge wave, won't you? This is Bill Dean in the marvellous Romeo 232 City of Exeter Spitfire. A lovely topside view looking down on you on the beach there. Boys and girls, do give him a huge wave. Fabulous flying.